Hello, my dear English learners. Welcome back. It's so wonderful to have you here with us today. I'm Emily, and I'm very happy to learn English with you again today.
Hi, Emily, and hi, my dear friends. I'm Mike. I'm here to prove that a person can make many small English mistakes and still have a very good day.
Have you ever understood an English sentence perfectly in your head, but when someone asks you a simple question, your brain suddenly says, "Sorry, we are closed today?" If that sounds familiar, stay with us, because today we are going to fix that problem step by step.
Oh, I know that feeling. I can read a whole English article, but when someone says, "So, what do you think?" I suddenly become very interested in the floor.
That is actually very common, Mike. And today we will show our listeners that understanding English and speaking English are different skills, and both skills can improve with practice.
So if you understand English but cannot speak easily, you are not broken. Your English brain just needs a little speaking exercise.
Exactly, that is a wonderful skill, Mike.
Thank you. I have practiced it for years.
Today, we are going to talk about advice for those who can understand and read English but struggle when speaking.
That topic sounds like it was created for me. I can understand English, I can read English, and sometimes I can even dream in English. But speaking can be difficult.
And that is exactly what we want to discuss. We will talk about why speaking feels difficult, how to build speaking confidence, how to make simple sentences quickly, and how to practice without feeling afraid of mistakes.
And I promise to share some of my embarrassing but useful English stories.
Perfect. Your stories may help our listeners feel less alone.
If my mistakes can help someone, then my mistakes finally have a career.
Before we begin, we want to wish you a wonderful day. We hope you and your family are healthy, safe, peaceful, and happy.
And I hope you feel more confident today than you did yesterday. Even if you learn only one useful sentence, that is still progress.
That is right. Learning a language is a journey, so please be patient with yourself.
And please do not compare your speaking with someone who has been speaking English for 10 years. Compare yourself with the person you were last month.
Beautifully said, Mike.
Thank you. I prepared that sentence for exactly 3 minutes.
And it was worth every second. If you enjoy this lesson, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share this lesson with a friend who is learning English.
Your support helps us create more useful English lessons, and it also gives me a reason to keep talking.
You never need a reason to keep talking, Mike.
That is true. My friends already know this.
Now, let us start with a simple question. Mike, why do you think people can understand English but struggle to speak it?
I think reading is easier because I have time. When I read, I can look at the sentence, think about it, and read it again.
Good point. When you speak, you need to understand, choose words, build a sentence, and say it almost at the same time.
Exactly. My brain says, "Wait, Emily. We need a meeting first."
That is a funny way to describe it, but it is true. Speaking requires quick access to words and sentence patterns.
Sometimes I know the word, but I cannot find it when I need it.
That happens because knowing a word and being able to use a word quickly are not exactly the same thing.
So I may know the word comfortable, but when someone asks me a question, the word goes on vacation.
Yes, but regular speaking practice can bring that word back from vacation.
Good. I hope my vocabulary enjoys its vacation, but not for too long.
One important idea is this: do not wait until your English is perfect before you start speaking.
That is important because perfect English may take a very long time.
Exactly, if you wait for perfection, you may wait too long. Start with simple English and improve as you go.
So instead of trying to say a very impressive sentence, I can say a simple sentence clearly.
Yes. For example, instead of saying, "I would like to express my strong appreciation for this wonderful opportunity," you can simply say, "I am happy to be here."
I like the second one. My mouth likes the second one too.
Simple sentences are not bad English. They are useful English.
That sounds important. Sometimes learners think they need difficult words to sound intelligent.
Exactly, clear communication is more important than using difficult vocabulary.
So if I say, I like this movie because it is funny, that is perfectly fine.
Yes, you can later make it more detailed. For example, I like this movie because it is funny, and the characters are very interesting.
That feels much easier. I can build the sentence one small piece at a time.
And that is one of our main strategies today: build your answer step by step.
Can we talk about another problem? Sometimes I understand a question, but I do not know how to begin my answer.
Of course. One useful method is to learn sentence starters.
Sentence starters?
Yes. They are simple phrases that help you begin speaking. For example, I think, I like, in my opinion, for me, I usually, and one reason is.
So instead of searching for the whole sentence, I can start with a familiar phrase.
Exactly. Let us practice. Mike, what do you do in your free time?
I think. I usually watch movies.
Good, you started with I think and then gave your answer. You can also say, in my free time, I usually watch movies.
In my free time, I usually watch movies. That feels natural.
Great, now add one reason.
I watch movies because they help me relax.
Excellent. Now you have a complete answer.
So I can use a simple structure: answer, reason, and maybe an example.
Exactly. For many everyday questions, that structure works very well.
Answer, reason, example. My brain likes that plan.
Good, let us try another one. What is your favorite way to spend a weekend?
I like staying at home because I am tired after a busy week.
Very good. You could add an example. I usually watch a movie or listen to music.
I like staying at home because I am tired after a busy week. I usually watch a movie or listen to music.
That is clear and natural.
And I did not need a dictionary.
That is another important goal. You do not need to translate every sentence in your head before speaking.
But how can I stop translating?
You can practice thinking in short English phrases. Start with things you already know.
For example,
When you see a cup, think, this is my cup. When you feel tired, think, I am tired. When you are hungry, think, I am hungry.
so I can practice English with normal things around me.
Exactly. You do not need a special classroom every time you want to practice speaking.
I can talk to myself.
Yes. Speaking to yourself can be useful, especially when you are alone.
My neighbors may think I have become very interesting.
Maybe they will learn English too.
That would be a very successful neighborhood.
You can describe what you are doing. Say, I am making coffee. Then say, the coffee smells good.
And if the coffee does not smell good?
Then you have a new speaking topic.
That is true. English practice is everywhere.
Exactly. Now it is your turn. Look around you and say 3 simple English sentences about what you can see.
You can talk about a table, a phone, a window, a chair, or anything near you.
Do not worry about making perfect sentences. Your goal is to speak.
And remember, your chair will not correct your grammar.
That is probably why chairs are such good listeners.
Emily, I have another question. What should I do when I make a mistake while speaking?
First, do not panic. A mistake is information. It shows you what you can improve.
So a mistake is not a disaster.
Exactly. If you say, yesterday I go to the park, I understand your meaning.
The correct sentence is, yesterday I went to the park.
Right. You only need to notice the past tense. Then continue speaking.
Sometimes I stop completely because I am afraid of making another mistake.
That is a common problem. Try not to stop every time you make a small mistake.
So communication first, correction later.
Exactly. During a conversation, your main goal is to communicate your idea.
That makes speaking less stressful.
And when you practice alone, you can focus more on grammar and pronunciation.
What about pronunciation? Sometimes I know what I want to say, but I worry that people will not understand me.
Pronunciation is important, but you do not need to sound exactly like a native speaker.
That is good news because my voice has no plans to become British overnight.
Your goal is clear pronunciation. Speak slowly enough for the listener to understand you.
So speaking faster does not mean speaking better.
Exactly. Clear and comfortable speech is more useful than very fast speech.
I think many learners try to speak too fast because they want to sound fluent.
Yes. But fluency is not only speed. Fluency also means expressing your ideas smoothly and confidently.
So I can slow down, breathe, and give myself a little time to think.
Yes. Short pauses are completely normal in real conversations. Let us practice a useful phrase for thinking time. Let me think for a moment.
Let me think for a moment.
Good. Another one is, that is an interesting question.
That is an interesting question.
These phrases give you a little time to organize your thoughts.
So instead of saying 10 times, I can use a natural phrase.
Exactly.
That is an interesting question. Let me think for a moment. I think my English is improving.
Very nice. That was a natural response. Now, think about your own experience. Can you understand English videos more easily than you can speak English?
If your answer is yes, you are not alone. Many learners have the same experience.
Now it is your turn. Say this sentence aloud. I understand English, but I need more speaking practice.
And say it with confidence. You do not need perfect English to start.
Excellent. Let us continue.
Emily, I think another problem is that learners know many words but do not know how to connect them.
That is a very good observation. Learning useful phrases can help.
Can you give us some examples?
Of course. Instead of learning only the word agree, learn the phrase I agree with you.
Instead of only learning idea, learn, that is a good idea.
Exactly. Instead of only learning sure, learn sure, I can help you.
So I should learn words together with useful phrases.
Yes. Phrases are easier to use when you need to speak.
That sounds much more practical than memorizing a huge vocabulary list.
Vocabulary lists can be useful, but you also need active practice.
Active practice means using the words.
Exactly. If you learn the word recommend, make a sentence. I recommend this book.
I recommend this podcast.
Thank you, Mike.
I am practicing at the same time.
Another useful habit is shadowing. Listen to a short sentence and repeat it immediately.
So I copy the speaker's rhythm and pronunciation.
Yes. You can start with very short sentences.
For example, I really enjoy learning English.
Good. Repeat it again, but this time try to sound relaxed.
I really enjoy learning English.
Excellent. Notice that you did not translate the sentence first.
That is true. I just repeated it.
That is how you train your speaking muscles.
Speaking muscles? I thought I only had to train my brain.
Your brain is important, but your mouth also needs practice.
My mouth would like a gym membership.
Then give it 5 minutes of English every day.
5 minutes sounds easy.
That is the point. A small daily habit can be easier to continue than a long study session once a week.
So I can speak English for 5 minutes every day.
Yes. You can describe your day, talk about your hobbies, explain what you watched, or answer simple questions.
And I can record myself.
Exactly. Listening to your own recording can help you notice pronunciation, grammar, and pauses.
I used to hate hearing my own voice.
Many people feel that way at first.
But now I think it can help me improve.
That is a great change in attitude. Let us do a speaking challenge. Mike, tell me about your English learning in 3 sentences.
I understand English better than before. I can read simple English articles. I want to become more confident when I speak.
Excellent. That was clear and natural.
Can I make it longer?
Of course. Add one reason and one goal.
I understand English better than before, and I can read simple English articles. I still feel nervous when I speak, but I want to practice every day. My goal is to speak English more naturally and confidently.
That is a strong answer. Notice how you used simple sentences to express a complete idea.
I did not need complicated grammar.
Exactly. Simple and clear is a powerful combination. Now it is your turn. Answer this question in English. Why do you want to improve your speaking?
You can start with, I want to improve my speaking because.
Then add one reason. You can say, I want to speak with friends, I want to travel more confidently, or I want to feel comfortable in conversations.
You can pause the podcast and practice your answer aloud. Emily, what is your best advice for someone who understands English but is afraid to speak?
My first advice is simple: speak before you feel ready.
That sounds scary, but also useful.
You do not need to start with a long conversation. Start with one sentence.
One sentence every day?
Yes. Then 2 sentences. Then 3. Slowly increase the amount.
What is your second piece of advice?
Use English for real communication. Talk about things you actually enjoy.
So if I like cooking, I can talk about cooking in English.
Exactly. If you like music, talk about music. If you like sports, talk about sports. Choose topics that make you want to speak.
That makes practice more enjoyable.
Yes. When you enjoy the topic, you are more likely to keep practicing.
What is your third piece of advice?
Do not translate every word. Focus on the message you want to communicate.
That is difficult, but I can practice.
Exactly. Start with simple ideas and simple English.
I have one more problem. Sometimes I know exactly what I want to say in my own language, but I cannot say the same thing in English.
That is normal. You do not always need to translate the exact sentence.
What should I do instead?
Say the idea in a simpler way.
Can you give an example?
Imagine you want to explain a complicated idea, but you do not know the word you need. Use easier words to describe it.
So I can explain around the missing word.
Exactly. That is an important communication skill.
For example, if I forget the word umbrella, I can say, it is something we use when it rains.
Perfect. That is much better than becoming silent.
My old strategy was to stare at the ceiling and hope the word came back.
Your new strategy is better.
I agree. The ceiling has never helped me with vocabulary.
This is also useful in real conversations. If you forget a word, keep communicating.
I can say, I do not know the word, but it is something you use for.
Exactly. You can also ask, what do you call it in English?
That is a useful question.
Yes. Real conversations are not vocabulary exams.
That sentence makes me feel much better.
Let us review what we have learned today. Mike, give me 10 useful words or phrases for improving speaking.
First, practice speaking.
Good. That is phrase number 1.
Second, speak slowly.
Good.
Third, simple sentences.
Yes.
Fourth, sentence starters.
Excellent.
Fifth, think in English.
Good.
Sixth, learn useful phrases.
Exactly.
Seventh, make mistakes.
Careful. We do not need to make mistakes on purpose, but we should not be afraid of them.
Right. I mean, do not be afraid of mistakes.
Perfect.
Eighth, practice every day.
Yes.
Ninth, record yourself.
Excellent.
10th, keep communicating when you forget a word.
Wonderful. Those are 10 very useful ideas.
And I have one extra. Do not ask your chair to teach you grammar.
That one is optional, but I support it. Now let us review some useful sentence patterns. You can say, I think, when you want to give an opinion.
I think speaking English becomes easier with practice.
Excellent. You can say, in my opinion, when you want to share your view.
In my opinion, simple English is very useful.
Good. You can say, let me think for a moment, when you need a little time.
Let me think for a moment. I am ready to speak.
Very natural.
I am starting to sound like a person who actually speaks English.
You are starting to sound more confident because you are using the language instead of waiting for perfect English. Let us have one final short conversation. Mike, imagine you are meeting someone who asks, how is your English learning going?
My English learning is going well. I can understand and read English quite well, but speaking is still difficult for me.
Good. Continue.
I sometimes feel nervous when I speak, so I am trying to practice every day. I use simple sentences, repeat useful phrases, and speak to myself for a few minutes.
Excellent. And what is your goal?
My goal is to speak more naturally and confidently. I know I will make mistakes, but I will keep practicing.
That is a wonderful answer, Mike. It is clear, natural, and confident.
Thank you. I think my English brain is finally attending the meeting.
And it is doing a great job. Now it is your turn. Tell us about your English speaking journey. You can start with, I can understand English, but...
Then explain what is difficult for you and what you want to improve.
You can also say, I want to improve my speaking because, and give one reason.
Remember, you do not need a perfect answer. You just need to start speaking.
Exactly. You can pause the podcast and practice aloud. Repeat your answer several times and notice how it becomes easier.
Emily, I think the biggest lesson today is that speaking is a skill, not just knowledge.
Absolutely. You can know many English words and still need speaking practice.
And the good news is that speaking practice can be simple.
Yes. 5 minutes a day can be a good beginning.
Speak about your day. Describe things around you. Answer simple questions. Repeat useful phrases.
And when you make a mistake, learn from it and continue.
Do not stop just because one sentence was not perfect.
Exactly. Confidence grows when you use English again and again.
And remember, if your English brain needs a few seconds to find a word, that is okay.
Yes. Take a breath, use a simple sentence, and keep going.
You have completed another English lesson with us, and that is something to be proud of.
Well done for staying with us and practicing your listening and speaking.
Now we want you to do one small thing after this lesson. Speak English for 5 minutes about your own experience.
Talk about why you are learning English, what you find difficult, and what you want to improve.
And please remember that making mistakes is a normal part of learning.
Exactly. Every mistake can teach you something useful.
Keep listening, keep speaking, and keep trying, even when you feel a little nervous.
If this lesson helped you, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share it with a friend who is also learning English.
Your support helps us create more lessons that are simple, practical, and useful.
We hope you and your family have a wonderful, peaceful, healthy, and energetic day.
Thank you for learning with us today. We will see you in the next lesson.
Take care, keep practicing, and remember that your English can improve one sentence at a time.
Keep learning, keep practicing, and keep believing in yourself.